and welcome back to the Late Night Yap. Today we have a very special episode, which is our Christmas holiday episode. I'm so excited the holidays are here. Besides Halloween, Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. There's just something about that Christmas magic that always seems to bring joy and light into our lives, you know what I'm saying? I just hope each and every one of you is also enjoying your holidays. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our Christmas stories. I'm not getting my in-laws anything for Christmas, mother-in-law is furious, and I'm enjoying the drama. My partner, 24 male, and I, 23 female, have been together for 3 years. For the first 2 years, we went to his family's house for Christmas. Me and his mom didn't hit it off well when we met. I'm not sure what happened, but she immediately didn't like me. We didn't see her much after the first meeting though, so I never really had the chance to make it up to her until Christmas. I didn't know her well, so I found what I thought was pretty minimalist necklace with green agate. It's just the right shade to be what my partner said was her favorite color. I thought she liked it at first until later on in the year after I met up with his family and saw her niece wearing it. I asked where she got it from and she told me my partner's mom was just about to throw it away. I was a little pissed, but I didn't say anything. It cost me about $100, which isn't super expensive for some, but as someone who lives paycheck to paycheck, it kind of sucked. My partner asked his mom why she wanted to throw it out though, and she said that she just wouldn't have worn it. Fine, whatever. Maybe I got her style wrong. It was her gift, and she could do whatever she wanted with it, I guess. She gave me an Iron Maiden shirt that year that was way too small and an odd choice because if you saw me, your first thought would definitely not be metalhead. I wear overalls and a lot of cottagecore clothing because it's cute. So it's not like she put a ton of effort into my gift and was upset I didn't put in as much. For the second Christmas, I put effort to get to know her beforehand. I talked to her sister, my partner's auntie, and found out that she grew up in the same hometown as me and missed it a lot. But because it was a 10-hour drive away and it wasn't somewhere she could visit easily, I brought it up to her next time that we met up and she and I talked about the town and started to get along more. In particular, though, that she mentioned how much she missed the smell of our town. There was a macadamia farm next to a bourbon distillery that smelled really nice together because of the molasses. The beach nearby was surrounded by eucalyptus and wattles and always smelled amazing. I had, again, thought I was a great idea to have a friend who made candles, so I commissioned 2 custom candles, a macadamia, whiskey, and vanilla candle, and a salt, eucalyptus, and wattle candle. I was so excited for her to open them on Christmas, and she just said, "Oh, that's neat," and then put them aside. Thankfully for my ego, her sister was way more excited about them and even made her light them while we sat out back. My partner's mom just ended up handing them off to her after we left, and the aunt called us to ask how she could get more. So this year I was planning as a Christmas birthday combined gift to pay for half a trip away to our hometown with my partner and his dad paying the other half. It was going to be a week long set on her birthday, hotels, drinks, food, and travel included, all around $2,000, though at the time we had only really paid about $1,000 for the travel and hotel bookings. I saved all year for this because I really wanted her to like me because I love my boyfriend and we're going to be together for a long time, and I feel like that means me and her should have at least sort of get along. A week ago, she came over to have lunch with my partner, and he told me she had come over to tell me not to buy her any gifts because she didn't want some tacky little trinkets bought from Target. So my tacky little holiday was canceled 2 days later, and I've used half of my refund to buy my partner some Legos that he always wanted but could never afford, as just a general gift because he puts up with me and I love him. It's going to get here in a month, and I've been thinking about giving it to him as a Valentine's present. On Sunday, we had an early Christmas because it was the only time my partner's grandmother would be in town. When it came time for gifts, I got everyone something but her, and she looked upset and she realized but didn't say anything. She pulled my partner aside and asked why she didn't get anything, and my partner told her what her gift was going to be, and it was already refunded like she asked. She started crying, sort of, mostly yelling and crying noises with no tears, and threw the food that was on the table on the floor and drove home alone. She's been calling us for the past days, trying to get me to change my mind, and no one but her mom is on her side. I'm a very petty person, and it's been genuinely fun time answering her calls lately. We're having a second Christmas lunch for my partner's dad's side of the family this Sunday, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. ETA, thank you so much for the support. It actually means a lot. I just want to add quickly, defend her to let you know there's no homophobia here at all. She's a loud LGBTQ supporter. She's just a mean person. I didn't even clock that. Yo. See, this is like I be reading stuff, but I didn't even clock that. So, but the one thing I was confused about was the middle of the story. Okay, so this is where I got confused. A week ago, she came over to have lunch with my partner, and he told me she had come over to tell me not to buy her any gifts because she didn't want some tacky little trinket. So, my tacky little holiday was canceled 2 days later, and I've used my half of the refund to buy my partner some Legos. Oh, okay, so she canceled the holiday. So basically, she came over and told OP's boyfriend, like, hey, I don't want some tacky little gifts, so don't give me anything. So they canceled the trip that they had paid $1,000 for and said they got refunded. So that's where I was confused. So that's what I wanted to go back to, was like she was upset she didn't get a gift, but she explicitly came over and said, hey, I don't want a gift. So, but anyways, I also feel like, because there is an update here, but before we get to the update real quick, I just feel like OP is doing everything they can to get this lady to like them, and she's just being so mean. Like, this is ridiculous. Now, the update was posted 8 days after the original post. So it's been about a week since I made my last post, and Ass was in DMs and in comments to update if anything happened, and stuff has, but it hasn't turned out in my favor. So more background info. My partner's grandfather on his mother's side lives with us, and I'm his carer. I shower him, clothe him, feed him, wipe his butt, and all the fun stuff. I love the old man, and I don't mind it at all. I'm actually awake at 4 a.m. right now because he needed some toilet assistance, and I'm just going to call him Pop for this. Pop is over 80, and for the past few years, he's had a falling problem. He's had his blood pressure and sugar checked, and he's tried to be taken off meds. He's gotten exercises he does for his leg muscles and in decent shape for an old man, so we don't know what caused it. In the week of my post, he's fallen 5 times, only once with injuries that's bothered him, thankfully enough. And that happened today, I think, after the post. He hit face first into the concrete path outside our house when we were going onto his walk. Superficial facial cuts, an effed up knee, and some intense burning around his side and leg. He twisted weird, I think, when he fell. Basically, he's in pain right now, and the pain meds don't last long enough for him to do a lot of things. I can't put into words how useless I feel over him getting hurt and suddenly how little I can do to ease it. He did make it to Christmas lunch on Sunday, but before that he was stuck in hospital literally up until the day, which meant a lot of preparation for Christmas fell onto me, which of course meant I needed supervision from my partner's mom. I don't think I did a single thing right in her eyes. The only thing I'll relent on this is that I am crap at wrapping presents. They were seriously awful, but my partner's mom, who we'll just call mother-in-law, is pissed about everything. My chicken was done pretty good, I thought, for someone who hadn't cooked out before. Crunchy skin, soft inside, just needed a few more herbs and spices next time. Mother-in-law wouldn't stop complaining the whole day. I didn't take her advice on how to cook it. She came after I cooked it, and I'm not sure how she thought that would make sense. And that I needed to leave my partner, the chef, to do it next time. This is a busy time for my partner's work, and he had no spare time and was too tired when he came home. Despite all the bad luck, though, somehow Pop hadn't gotten mother-in-law's gift yet, and he said I could go down to get her something, and it didn't matter what. She had to like it anyways. I would have loved to get her a lump of coal, like someone suggested in the last post, but since it was from Pop, I thought it should be at least put minimal effort in. Yeah, give her a lump of coal. You've been a naughty girl for Christmas. You've been naughty, mother-in-law. And I knew the place to get her a little trinket. I ended up getting this small sculpture for her, wrapped it up nice, and on Christmas Day, she loved it. She kept going on about how it would fit so nicely in her lounge room with her art set up and how thoughtful it was. Pop ended up telling her I was the one who picked it out, and she asked who made it so she could look at their other work. When I told her I found it at Target and told her I knew she would like it because it suited the rest of her home, and she was mad. She started yelling about how I knew she wouldn't like it and that I needed to treat her with respect. My partner's uncle just laughed and told her that she liked it before, so I must have done well. Ooh, so they're calling her out now. Oh my gosh. Why does she not like this person? Like, I need to know what happened. Like, there has to be something. She can't just, like, hate you for no reason. You would think, right? I'd hope not. This lady sounds crazy. For the next part, I need to add the last bit of context. I'm white and my partner's family are Indigenous Australian. It's never been an issue before, but suddenly my mother-in-law yelled out the question, why were they letting the white boy take care of Pop? I can't remember the full sentence, but the implication was that I'm either abusing or neglecting him. Not to make this whole lesson, but she did have sort of a point. Since caring for Pop, I've seen firsthand negligence that comes from white nurses caring for Aboriginal elderly versus white, and it's an actual problem, but her accusing me of neglecting him hurt a lot. I asked if she wanted to take up caring for him then, since she had the space in her home and also didn't work. She huffed and rolled her eyes. It was quiet for a bit until someone changed the subject, and then we left early so Pop could go lie down at home and get comfortable. Pop ended up calling mother-in-law a cow when we got home and told me to ignore her. Yesterday, however, the organization, his carers, they shower him every other day and clean the house on Wednesday. She sent someone to look around and asked me to leave for a bit to talk to Pop. When I got back, she was gone, and Pop told me I had been reported to them for elderly abuse and that she had to come check it out. Of course, he told her the situation with mother-in-law, but I'm worried that they don't believe him and think I'm hurting him. She told Pop that she'd be coming back in a few days for another checkup. That is evil. That is absolutely evil. This woman is evil. Okay, like, what the heck? Mother-in-law is supposed to be coming around today, probably to snoop about the career checking up on him. I'm honestly too tired after this to keep up any pettiness, though. I recently had to quit the course I was doing from home. I just didn't have enough time to do it, help Pop do the chores and take care of myself, and then I've been in a slump about it. Then he falls and had me feeling useless, and now this. Pop says that he's not going to a home and no one else will care for him, so I'm stuck with him, and that he's very grateful to have me. But I really want to know how this is going to play out. I guess it depends on how much my mother-in-law is willing to do to get back at me. My hope in the end is that this abuse report blows over quickly with other family chiming in to point out that it's false. That eventually everything chills the F out. Until then, though, I think my mother-in-law unfortunately has won the pettiness war. There's also an edit here. I want to defend my partner. He's grown up with this woman and does usually call her out on her crap for anything major. These petty little things from before, though, are things I know he would feel weren't worth talking to his mom about because it wouldn't do anything. She's stubborn and doesn't see her own faults. We're both grown men, both have different ways of handling things, and his is just to let it blow over because it's easier. Mine is to push back. I wouldn't start some petty bullcrap if I didn't think I could handle it myself. I didn't expect him to waste his time trying to defend me from his mom's usual low-stake pettiness when I knowingly act in the stereotypical sassy gay asshole for fun. Okay, OP. And so there is another update. This update was from January 15th, and the original post was from December 28th. So this is almost like a month update, like almost a month update. Maybe like a 3-week update, like 3-week. You know what I'm saying? Like that, kind of like that mark. So, but before we get into this update, because I'm reading from Best of Redditor updates, they don't have any of the original comments on here from like other people, but like, and we'll get to whoever's commented on this at the end. But at the same time, like, oh my gosh, this lady is like, she would drive me nuts. Like, I would want to not be, I wouldn't even want to be around her. I would literally, I would leave. Like, a lot of partners don't realize that when your parents do like really weird, ridiculous stuff like this, people don't want to deal with that. And they might love you so much and care about you, but at the same time, it's like they also have to protect their peace. So it's like after like so many years of dealing with someone like that without somebody sticking up for you, like eventually the partners will leave you, you know, for stuff like this. And it's really sad because it's like your mother is ruining your intimate life. Like, a life where you would be happy and have a spouse, or, you know, maybe even one day you guys might have children together. Like, she doesn't know you guys what y'all are gonna do, you know what I mean? So it's like, it really sucks, especially when you love this person, but like, you just can't, like, you can't marry into a family that treats you like boo-boo. That they treat you like poo-poo, boo-boo, doo-doo. You don't want any part of it. And you know what? Santa Claus is putting her on the naughty list this year. Naughty, bitch. What the fuck? Anyways, we're going to get on to the update. First, I want to say thank you to the flood of support that came in from the Best of Redditor updates post, and for the person that reposted it there in the first place. I don't have a lot of support in my life, and getting so many people on my side who, even though they never met me, are worried for me was overwhelming. I really appreciate all the people who reached out with legal advice and advice for Pop. Since so many people asked, I will give a final update. So Pop is doing good now. His bruise is finally healed, and he's a lot more independent now since the pain is worn off. We'd neglected looking at the muscle on his calves and ankles because of a true stereotype a lot of Aboriginal Australians have tiny calves and ankles, and we, including his GP, thought they were small solely because of that. No, muscle degeneration. But we're working on it, and he's already able to stand for a whole 5 minutes without assistance, which is a huge amount of time. The abuse investigation turned up nothing. The worker who came over again to tell us that she had made a note that the mother was against me being a career and had made a false accusation, so it sounds a lot harder for her to make a mess of things easily now. She hasn't admitted to doing it. The worker didn't specify it was her either, but I mean, who else would do that? The timing of the last post getting attention is amazing because I have a fantastic news for a lot of you. My fiance broke up with me a few days ago. Oh, wait, that's fantastic news? Wait, what happened? I had asked for a break because the past week he had been snappy and not wanting me near him much, so I thought it would be a good way for me to lean on him less and for him to have space. He got upset at the idea, drove off to a mate's, and came back and told me it was a better idea to break up. He said he was sick of 1. Having no time to himself because he worked all day instead of relaxing when he was home, had to hang out and talk to me every single day. That's fucking rude. Hello? Why the fuck would you say that to somebody? This is, what? Anyways, 2, me no longer being attracted to him, he just complained anytime I tried to flirt with him or make a move, so I stopped. So he is no longer attracted to you, it seems like, because those first 2 things, especially number 1, like, he doesn't have to be fucking rude, though. Like, you could just say, hey, this is not working out. Like, why you have to be so mean? 3, me being financially dependent on him. I currently get $600, which is 416 US dollars per fortnight on my concession because my career allowance isn't coming in for another 2 weeks. And most of my money came out for paying things we'd both afterpaid, so he was buying me my medication and food for us. We had agreed a week before this that he was okay with this because once my career payments came in, I could pay for way more stuff and the debt would be paid off by then. 4, me spending money on useless stuff while we were financially unstable. I bought $100, which is 69 US dollars worth of books because I hadn't had any new ones to read in months, which was 4 books. Please also note that he bought a PS5. Is it? Okay, so if you guys are in Australia, isn't it a PS5 in Australia is like way more expensive than it is in the US that I know of. Like, I remember the ninjas. Okay, so there's a ninja slushie, and the ninja slushie here, I mean, it used to be $2.99, but it's $3.99 now, so it's $400 here. In Australia, it's like $800 that I know of. Like, it is like double the price there, and the same thing in Canada. Like, the shit is so expensive there. It's insane. But yeah, like, for us, a PS5 would be like $500. For them, I think, it would be like, like $800. Or like, not like, y'all would be paying a lot more than what we would have to pay for it. Why? I have no idea. But that's usually how I've seen prices on things. That's usually how it goes. You know, like, it's different, like, it's more expensive stuff there than it is for us here. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, the Nintendo Switch, same shit. Like, we would have to pay, how much was the Switch? It was like, the Switch 2 when it came out was like, it was expensive, but it was like $200 more in Australia. Like, it was ridiculous. But anyways, how is he going to get mad at you for spending $70 on books, and he's spending a ridiculous amount of money on a splurge item? And don't get me wrong, I have a PS5. Okay, I actually have it sitting right here. Hold on. I've got my controller right here. So, like, you know, we do have a PS5, and that shit was expensive. When it came out, I'm telling you, people, like, it sold out and people wanted it so bad. And it was so expensive, like, reselling. So it was like, did he pay for the resale? Because this was in 2022. So he had to have paid I mean, that shit was sold out for a long time. If he paid resale price for it, then he would have paid like $1,000 for that thing. Anyways, that's just, I don't know. I'm just sticking up for OP at this point because this is rude. Number 5, me quitting my course because I'm a lazy F who doesn't want to work, just sleep all day. Reminder, I quit my course to take care of his elderly grandfather who is scared to be alone and can't do much because of him Reminder, I quit the course to take care of his elderly grandfather who is scared to be alone and can't do much himself because of 5. Me quitting my course because I'm a lazy F who doesn't want to work, just sleep all day. Reminder that I quit my course to take care of his elderly grandfather who is scared to be alone and can't do much himself because of falls. Please again note the fact that he also used to be Pop's care until he quit because everyone said he didn't work. Note the fact that he also used to be Pop's care until he quit because everyone said he didn't work and was lazy, and he was sick of people not recognizing the work he put in. So, is he listening to like mother-in-law? Mother-in-law sounds like he's in his ear, and he's just repeating things that she said and is just agreeing with her, like being, I don't know. But at this point, like, how are you going to be against your own partner and be brainwashed like that? That's just like, I don't even know, man. All of the quotes from the breakup are messages he sent over text while he hid in his room, editing slightly for easy reading. Pop and I have talked, and he's told me I'm allowed to stay and that my ex would be kicked out before if I was ever. Pop and I talked, and he told me I was allowed to stay and that my ex would be kicked out before I would if there was ever an issue. I'm also staying his carer for the foreseeable future. In fact, in a delightful twist, my ex's mom called when she found out we split to beg me not to give up on being a carer because no one else would do it. I have the biggest grin on my face just typing what happened honestly. It's been a few days since we split, and I've never had many life goals. I usually just follow what I'm told and support the person leading me, which apparently a lot of people caught on to easily from my post. My only real goal in the last few years was to do my course, get a job, and get a house with my ex, so when he broke up with me a few days ago, I felt stranded very suddenly. I've since had a few necessary cries and post-cry naps, and then my antidepressants kick in and I realize how I've been living isn't at all fulfilling to me, so last night I applied for another online course and I wanted to do that my ex advised me against doing months ago, and I'm excited. It starts today, but since it's online, the late application probably won't matter. Overall, I think it's a pretty positive note to end things on. Things look like they're probably going to go up from here, and I'm looking forward to finding out more about what I want to do for myself now that I'm not so focused on my ex. Thanks again to all the wonderful support from you guys. I probably wouldn't be where I am right now so quickly without having read all the supportive comments from the last post. I love you all very much. Okay, so well, at least OP, is ending on a positive note here and is still caring for Pop cuz I was about to say like I feel like it's kind of like it sucks. Like this is just a really unfortunate situation, but OP has somebody in their life. Like Pop obviously loves OP and wants to keep him around. So, and also like just so that people know, like please don't quit like your careers or something that you're starting in your career for somebody else to do something for them and putting your life on hold, because when something happens like this, now you have to restart from the beginning and just go on. Now they are pretty young, they're young dudes, and I think overall OP seems to really have a good head on their shoulders for the most part. They're gonna figure it out, and I think at the end of the day, lesson learned, and the more lessons you learn in life, the more you can react to new situations in a better light. So hopefully if this happens again, OP won't let people run over them like that. But that mother-in-law is evil, and her son just as evil. Like, there is something wrong with those people, and I'm just glad Pop is the one that's not not a part of that, okay? But we're gonna go ahead and read some comments. So the first comment says, wait, this kid is quitting courses to take care of Pop and no one blinks an eye or offers to help. And then somebody commented with that and said, I don't really get it, why is he the carer in the first place? And from what I've got from the story, because those two comments seem to be a little bit confused. What I've got from the story was that the OP is supposed to be going to school to be that, like, that's going to be their career, is to be like with the nurse and stuff like that. So to care for people, and they've been caring for somebody, but they're in courses, so they're not technically, it's not a job. It would be like an internship, which is probably wasn't really laid out specifically, but I'm assuming it's probably an internship with the program that Pop is in, and that's how they're caring for them legally, you know what I'm saying? Because they do seem to be in school for that, but they just haven't gotten the certifications for it because they stopped taking the course for for the whatever. So, but yeah, I just think it's really horrible. I feel like the candles were such a very intimate gift that OP was trying to give, and the mother-in-law just like completely shunned it away. Like they had this whole conversation about the smells that she missed and that the smells she loved. Got candles specifically for her for that, like handmade candles at that, like from somebody in their hometown, from their friend's business. And then for her to just be disrespectful and be like, oh, I don't want this crap that you got from Target. Like, babe, they didn't get it from Target. They got it, like somebody made that for you. And that's just really sad. It's just really sad. But that story was really long. Sorry about that. I didn't realize the story was going to be so long. This next story, super short though. So, compared to this last story you read, this one is really, really short. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the second story. Husband has ruined my Christmas. My husband, 35 male, and I, 35 female, have been married for 4 years and have 2 children, a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old. Both are male children. This is the first Christmas where my toddler understands a lot more about what's going on, and we've been talking about Santa, decorating tree, wrapping family gifts together, etc. My husband has been talking a lot about building family traditions for the kids, which I thought was lovely. My family has a German background, so we opened up the gifts from family on Christmas Eve together. Oh God, wait, is he gonna dress up as Belschnickel? Is that German? I don't even know. I just remember all I could think of is Dwight dressing up as this old crotchety freaking Santa Claus and whacking people with a stick. Yeah, husband ruined Christmas dressing up as Belschnickel. Okay. My bad, guys. I'm just gonna keep reading. My family has a German background, so we opened up the gifts from family on Christmas Eve together with my parents and brother. I had a rough night with the baby, so I slept a little longer than usual this morning, Christmas morning, but not unreasonable, I thought. I woke up at 7:45. The toddler had woken up at 6 a.m., and my husband got up with him. I got up to discover that my husband had opened up presents from Santa with my toddler already, which has left me devastated. I felt so excluded and robbed of seeing the joy of my child's face opening up the gifts that I had picked out for him. He didn't wait until I woke up or wake me up if the toddler couldn't wait. My husband commented that it was a lovely father-son moment, which drove the knife in even further. Clearly, I'm an afterthought when he thinks of family. I've been holding back tears all day for the sake of the toddler. Okay, that did not go any way that I thought it was gonna go. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. I would be very upset. So here's the thing. When I was a kid, I'm going to put this down for a second, because when I was a kid and we would celebrate Christmas, whenever we got up in the morning, I was not allowed to touch presents until both of my parents were awake and ready for present opening. Now sometimes we would wait until my grandma came over, which she lived like right across the street from us. So we would just wait for her to come over. We would have breakfast, because obviously she would bring over more presents and she wanted to be there for the present opening. So sometimes we would just wait for her to get there. So I didn't open presents immediately on Christmas. I was not allowed to. And I definitely wasn't allowed to touch the tree unless I was told to do so. So, yeah, I think like him wanting to start a new tradition, does that mean doing Christmas without you? Because that's what it seems like his new tradition is now. Father-son moment, a father-son moment without you during Christmas. That's crazy. I mean, they could have at least opened one present, or maybe had him open a stocking or something so that he had something to do because he is a toddler. Or he could have just made, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, made him breakfast, let him open the stocking, let him eat some candy out of it. I mean, it's freaking Christmas, dude. Like, they could eat the candy out of the stocking. It's not that big of a deal, let them do what they need to on holidays. Like, just let kids have fun, like, it's not like you don't have to be super strict. But anyways, I think it's incredibly rude. It is a little bit selfish. Sometimes as a parent, we have to do things that, may make us look meanie, like little meanies, or whatever it is. And sometimes you just have to put your foot down and be like, nope, we're gonna wait until mommy gets up. Like, she had a rough night with the baby and he's being completely just Like, it just sucks when somebody doesn't care about your well-being as much as you think that they should, you know? Especially when it comes to kids, because you're like, I wish my partner was more considerate of what I just went through. It is a very selfish mentality, or just makes it seem like they don't care about you. And honestly, and he honestly doesn't seem like he understands what being a husband and a father together means, which is a lot more than just going to work and paying bills, you know? So we're going to read a few of the comments here. So the first comment says, as far back as I can remember, my father would bring my mom coffee and toast in bed, and we'd have to wait for mom to be done before we could even go downstairs. We'd have a stocking with a few magazines, coloring books, candy, and a few small toys to keep us busy. As time went by, my dad would bring me and my brother tea and toast, and we'd hop into their bed and eat and watch TV until my mom was ready to go downstairs. Christmas is a family time, not father and son bonding time. I'm sorry, OP, your husband sounds like an ass. And that is very true. Everything that I said, that's what I said. That's what I said, and everything they said, I agree with all of it. That's honestly the best way to do it. Now, another comment says, how you're feeling is completely normal. I don't think you're overreacting at all. Christmas takes so much time and effort buying, planning, and wrapping, and Christmas magic really is watching your children open their gifts on Christmas morning and seeing their faces when they walk down the stairs and seeing what Santa brought. It's totally unfair for him to have taken that from you, and I guarantee he would be upset too. You only get a few of the magic special Christmases with kids when they are questioning and know Santa isn't real, and they are only 4 once. And that's very true. Because the thing for my family is that my child is autistic. And so when we have Christmas or birthdays or whatever it might be, a lot of times in the morning can be very overwhelming, very stressful, because there's so much going on. So typically he'll start crying. So I never really got that, like, what other kids, they're like, oh my gosh, Santa brought presents, or like the night before they're like all giddy and they're like, I can't go to bed because Santa is coming. Like, my kid doesn't do stuff like that, which is fine, you know. But I don't get the traditional parent experience when it comes to Christmas. So now that my son, he started talking a lot more, he started really kind of like opening up and just being like what seems to be more present, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it without being rude. I don't know. But that's just kind of like how it feels, you know? So if it were me and I missed that first time that my child was fully comprehensible and being able to be like, Santa's here, presents, that just, yeah, I think I would be really upset. You know, it's not the same seeing it on camera as it is in person. Like, you want to see those memories in person. Especially on Christmas, when you've, went out of your way to make this a magical moment and you kind of just, like, missed out on that. And it really sucks that your husband did that to you. Honestly, I would not blame you if you wouldn't stay with this man, because that's just really shitty. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next story. Am I overreacting about in-laws' Christmas stocking rule? I had been dating my boyfriend for about 4.5 years when we started dating, and I had only had my first Christmas gathering with his family. I was informed that only people outside of the family who received Christmas stockings were wives and husbands, which is okay. Weird, but I let it slide. We hadn't been dating very long by this point. I should mention that I have a daughter from a previous relationship who did receive a stocking the first time, which I was touched by, and she has received one every year, definitely not complaining about that. But now the holidays coming up, I'm dealing with the hurt feelings that come with going over there every year. I couldn't care less about the material aspect of it, it just hurts my feelings, making me feel left out, and it seems like a dumb rule. Am I overreacting? Editing to add, I just spoke with my boyfriend's sister-in-law about this. She says she's gotten one since the beginning of their relationship, including their dating phase, so I don't know what this should tell about me, lol. Yeah, because at first I was like, well, it's maybe not too weird, but I don't know. Like, it kind of seems Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with OP. This does seem kind of weird. So the first comment says, wait, so you don't get one, but the sister in law does? In the dating phase. She says she's gotten one since day one. So somebody else commented and says, not overreacting, it's very rude, and I would feel exactly as you do. This should have been fixed by your boyfriend. Yeah, like, I don't understand why OP is the only one without the stalking. Like, why are you being left out? It's so weird. Now, another person said, bring your own stocking. I like this comment. Okay. So I started bringing my own to my in-laws until my mother-in-law made one for me. She has a homemade stocking for every family member, and it took a while for her to make mine, which is fine. It's a huge family and she's busy. I made my stocking out of some nice fabric, and it's roughly 5 feet long, and it does not go with the aesthetic of her Xmas decorations, and I could tell she hated it. Bring your own and have your boyfriend and other family members fill it for you, or bring it filled and sneak it in with the others. Act surprised when you open it. That is a wonderful idea, and that's something I would definitely do, and then watch mother-in-law be like, who gave you that stocking? You cannot have that, ma'am. And it's like, I bought this? What do you mean? This is mine. Personally, if I were OP though, I would definitely pull my boyfriend aside and just be like, hey, so you know this like stalking rule that I'm not allowed to be part of? Well, apparently sister-in-law been part of it since she started dating in the family, and so what the heck is up with that? What's up with that, Jack? You know what I'm saying? Just bring it up and like make it a problem. You know, and I also just realized my computer light was like glaring on my glasses, so I am incredibly sorry. I just turned the light down. That I tried to keep all like certain lights low so that because my glasses like look like the ring light just like, and then you can't see my eyes. So I just realized that, and I'm so sorry. But we're gonna move on to the last Christmas story. Am I overreacting for wanting to skip Christmas after my mother-in-law tried to embarrass me for being fat? My mother-in-law has always made her dislike of larger bodies pretty obvious, and I've long suspected that my size is part of why we've never been especially close. She's even joked about people who look like me right in front of me, and I usually just smile and let it slide because I'm conflict adverse and genuinely want to be on good terms with my husband's family, especially now that we're newly married. But a few days ago, during a family Christmas photo shoot, she crossed a line. Right as we were getting ready to take pictures, she walked over, untucked my shirt from my high-rise pants and said, "Here, I think this looks better," clearly trying to hide my stomach in front of everyone. I was mortified and on the verge of tears, so I stepped away and called my husband, who was wonderful and always has my back, to grab my things so that we could leave. I was so upset on the drive home, and he got upset too. He called her and told her that she had absolutely no right to comment on my body, let alone touch me. She insisted that she didn't mean anything by it and that she just wanted everyone to look nice, even though I was the only person whose appearance she decided needed fixing. She doesn't understand why I'm hurt and thinks I overreacted by walking out and missing the photos. Now, I don't even want to go to Christmas dinner, even though I promised to bring a couple of dishes. My husband supports whatever I decide, but I know he'd stay home with me if I bowed out. And I'd feel guilty about keeping him from seeing his extended family. So Reddit, am I out of line here, or should I just show up to dinner in a crop top? Kidding, mostly. So, I think you should show up in a bikini. I think you should show up in a full-on bikini with the cutest little bathing suit cover up that you could find, babe, and just let her be mad and be like, "Oh, you want me to cover this? I don't think so." Not today, mother-in-law, not today. So the first comment says, super duper whack. Me personally, I wouldn't go since she sounds like the type to bring up your overreaction at dinner. Not going seems way more peaceful, which I agree. I wouldn't go. Hopefully you and her son's absence I wouldn't go. Hopefully, you and her son's absence makes it abundantly clear to stop bullying you and protect your peace. And somebody said they agree. Yeah, I think a lot of the comments here is like, you deserve better. You should not go. And honestly, it's so weird people being fat phobic. Like, okay, so before I had a child, because we're going to get a little bit personal, right? So before I had a child, I was maybe like 120 pounds. At most, I was like 135, which was mostly muscle because I played basketball and we had won districts, I think, 2 years in a row that year, those years. And I was just all muscle because I was just like weight training and all that kind of stuff. So I was like probably the biggest I ever was in high school, but I wasn't even big. Like I've always been a twig my whole life. And when you're that skinny, you always have people commenting like, "Oh, you need to eat a burger. Oh, you look anorexic. Like, are you okay? You look like you're gonna pass away. Like, you need to eat something." And it's like always commenting on somebody's body, you know? But then I had a baby, right? Okay, so I had a baby, and now, I gained like what, like 80 pounds, which is super normal, okay? For most pregnancies, when most women gain about like 50, 80 pounds during their pregnancy. And I've never, like, I went to the doctor, like, they never said anything to me. Now, do I have a little mommy pooch? I sure do, but I gave birth to a fucking human, like a whole human life. I'm gonna have a mommy pooch, and I really don't give a fuck who does not like it, period. Because why are you commenting on my body, number one? And nowadays, everybody has this huge issue where they're like, "Oh, you're fat, you're fat now." And I'm just like, bro, like, it doesn't matter what weight you are. People are always going to comment on your body who have an issue with their self. Like, you're never not going to get comments on your body. Like, even if you were the fittest person in the world and you were just a really fit and strong woman, people would be like, "Ew, she has muscles. Women aren't supposed to look like that. They're supposed to look fit." Like, it doesn't matter what your size is. People are gonna say shit about you if they don't like you, okay? Or they're just gonna try to come up with something to make fun of you because that's how people are, and they're fucking weird and rude. So personally, I wouldn't take it to heart because mother-in-law obviously has self-image issues, and she's probably an almond mom, and she probably barely eats and hates her life, okay? I don't care. Like, I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 next year. I'm gonna eat whatever the fuck I want, as long as it ain't gonna give me diabetes and it ain't gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously eat healthy, but I'm still like, I'm not gonna like, "Oh, I can't eat that because it's gonna make me fat." Like, I'm gonna eat what I want, bitch, and you're gonna be okay with that. Like, I don't really fucking care. Like, you don't want to see me eat a donut? Don't watch me eat a fucking donut, bitch. Like, hello. But anyways, yeah, I just think it's really rude. I think it's like, especially because she touched you. I would honestly, I probably would have been like, "Don't touch me." Why are you? I would have backed up. I would have been like, "Excuse me, what are you doing? Like, are you fucking weird?" Yeah, no, not overreacting at all. Honestly, I wouldn't go to Christmas dinner because you already know mother-in-law is gonna probably make some cheap ass comment and be like, "Oh, you brought all this food. You don't think you've already eaten enough?" She's gonna say some bullshit, and you're gonna end up wanting to punch her in the face. And honestly, I would honestly think that would be okay. OP, I would recommend that you do that. Maybe she'll shut the fuck up. Give her a knuckle sandwich. Be like, "Oh, I think you look a little skinny, mother-in-law. I think you need a knuckle sandwich." Nah, but yeah, that's just, it's rude. It is rude, and it's like, bro, you, like, people like this, like, honestly, are just so toxic. Like, you're ruining like a special warm holiday. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Why are you trying to ruin a holiday that's meant to be joy and like love and family and like care? Like, why? Like, why? I don't understand that. That is just like the weirdest thing ever. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will. But that is going to be the end of our holiday stories. If you want to see more of those stories, I'm going to be posting more on Instagram and TikTok that are separate from what I posted here. That is separate from what I've posted here. And I also hope that you guys love my Christmas decor that we've had up since November. My little Santa bow. And my Feliz Navidad Christmas shirt, because why not? and my Christmas blanket with my Santa cats and my Santa dogs. This technically was supposed to be my dog's blanket, but she don't ever use it. She don't care about it, so it's my blanket now. and I don't really care. It's fine. It's a cute blanket. I don't know. I got it from Target. But yeah, and I got my lovely little Christmas display. I'm honestly so sad I'm gonna have to take this display down soon because it looks so good. I love Christmas so much. It's like one of my favorite like things to decorate for. But you know what though? We are a Puerto Rican household, so to be honest with you, these decorations gonna be up till next month. We celebrate the Three Kings Day, so I'll probably take them down like after that. But yeah, usually our Christmas decorations they stay up for a pretty long time. We keep them up for a lot longer than most people do, which is fine. I don't really care. I love Christmas, and we're actually gonna go see Christmas lights too. So I'll definitely post that whenever we go do that. Which we're gonna do it before I post this video. So if you see this video, I've probably already posted about my Christmas lights, but I'll post them on like my YouTube posts so that way you guys can go back and see all of the photos I took of Christmas lights because I live in Florida and we're gonna go to St. Augustine. And if you don't know what they are, it's called Night of Lights, and it's a really fun thing that they do every single year in St. Augustine with Christmas lights. So I'm excited to go, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. So and I'm excited for Christmas. I'm excited to open presents. I'm excited to just have Christmas. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Everybody is included. There is no non-inclusion here. We include everybody, okay? And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. And if you guys want to come back and let me know in the comments what Santa got you for Christmas, I would love to hear what you got. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.